Hello, Gemini Seeker. Welcome back to the Existential Shift. April. Because March has been so much fun. Anyway. Been challenging. If you're new to my channel, welcome, Seeker. My name is Morgane. This is the Existential Shift, where our spirituality isn't running away from reality, rather into reality, where we find how spiritual it is. The greatest scientists, or the greatest spiritualists, Einstein, Tesla, Jung. He was a psychotherapist, but scientist of the human psyche. They are never truly apart, as is no yin and yang or polarity. How is it that we understand so well in theory that everything is a cycle and the beginning is the end and the black is the white and the extremities are just a different mask and expression to the same essence, yet in our own life it's so difficult? I'm not judging, I'm observing. I'm a part of this. Maybe it's the yearning to union with the other extreme, with the other aspects of ourselves that makes us feel like we are apart from that. Maybe it's that unfulfilled desire. Oscar Wilde said, the best way to get rid of temptation is to yield to it. Well, how about collapse within yourself and thus find the other aspect to unite with, to unify with? What do I mean by that? Ooh, I'm going to say something naughty. Just succumb to your desires. Hold on. Nothing that includes hurting someone else, controlling someone else. That's not succumbing to your desires. That's dictatorship. I mean, what is it that you want to do? Who is it that you want to be? If there's no judgment and no reflection backfiring at you from society, because the other is hiding within you, and once you find it within you, no cliche, once you find it within you, you find it outside of you. Remember the law of mirroring and attraction? Strength and 10 of Cups. Gemini. I'm actually picking up, this is the Game of Thrones tarot. In the spirit of our time, someone holding the fortress, taking care of the home, protecting the family, looking outside the window to see what goes on in the street. Is it safe to go to the grocery store? Is it not? But so much nobility. It's like you're finding your power and your love at these times. It's like you just know what to do. And you're worried about your family members. It's obvious, but it's also shown here. And you're apparently are somewhat of a anchor, a lighthouse to them, to your community, to people around you, to your family, to your friends, whomever is relevant for you for this reading. And it's almost like they didn't know you have that sword of protection, that you had that knight in shining armor kind of essence. Someone here is really cool, calm, collected. Not robotic though. This is very warm energy. This is fire and water at their best. It's an energy of, I'm here. It's okay. I got this. Have you seen the show Game of Thrones? Do you remember Brienne? The female knight? That. She was completely selfless while being so extremely selfish. Because it made her feel powerful. It made her feel unique. To be a female warrior in a world of men. It gave her that extra oomph of being special. And she was. It's okay that she enjoyed it subconsciously. Being selfless is selfish because it truly fulfills the heart. And when you help another, remember, you is me and all that jazz? When you help the other, you help yourself. So everything is selfless, but everything is selfish. And I'm not saying it with negativity at all. I'm saying it as a matter of fact. As a matter of the extremities are one. Once you realize that, once you realize you can truly enjoy what you do while feeling great about yourself, because maybe you're doing something noble for others, and just fully do it. Three of Swords. But you've done that before and you've been bruised and shamed and referred to as selfish. Oh, that lone wolf that protects his or her household, but out in the cold. Keeping an eye out. And everyone just expect that wolf to do that for them because, well, that's their nature. You know how they refer to wolves as sometimes in analogies and phrases as if they're, you know, like sheep and wolf, like wolf and sheep clothing, like as if they're a negative creature. They are some of the most noble, kind, loving, loyal, thoughtful, so very important creatures. With no wolves, there are no rivers. Check it out. Without you, there are no rivers, Gemini. You are the wolf in this analogy. A pack animal that loves and needs to be loved. But somewhere along the line, got injured. So it got attached to the notion of the lone wolf. I did a video about this. 2 years ago. It's on my 13th element playlist. It's called A Lonely Wolf. A lonely wolf is a sad wolf. I'm in the woods. Not now. Then. Time to go back to the essence, the true essence of the wolf, which is Six of Wands, a leader of a pack. You don't have to be vain to lead. You could probably be arrogant. If anything, you should be arrogant. I don't know a leader that isn't arrogant, no matter how humble they are. You know the difference between arrogance and vanity, humility and modesty? You gotta be arrogant to lead. You gotta be very certain of your ability. Vanity is something else. Vanity is when it makes you think like you're better than someone else. Your abilities and your skill and your talent and your virtue don't come at the expense of another, and we're all on this journey, different stages, but if we remember that's not a linear line, rather a circle, then it doesn't matter in which point you are on that circle. Relatively to the circle, you're all the same. You can be an arrogant, humble leader. Not vain and modest. Modesty is the falsity of humility. It's pretending. Oh, don't, no, I don't, no. Please continue. Humility is knowing that it doesn't matter how amazing you are, while knowing how amazing you are. Everyone were made equal with their rights under the sun. Can you understand the difference? Some of you feel like you've given it all to your loved ones, yet you are not seen by them. You are kept outside on a leash to bark on those comers. And then you decide to tear that leash and go off and give your beauty and leadership to people who can appreciate. For those of you who are in the medical field, if you're out there doing your job of helping people, if you're at a grocery store, if you're a nurse, if you're a doctor, if you're a police officer, and so on, you're doing it with a lot of grace. Oh, you're scared, yeah, that you can't be at home. You're doing that with a lot of grace. And some of you, I don't remember who else had this, but you are recognized and seen for things within you that are coming out at these times that weren't seen before. People didn't know, but now they know. Six of Wands, oh, now they know. Some of you also have been there for someone quietly, and that someone doesn't really know. And you're worried about them. You're keeping an eye on them. But you're not telling them or showing them your concern and care. Not sure why. This could be vice versa, Gemini. Someone like that with you. Page of Cups, Two of Swords. There are two siblings. It's very specific. I'll move on to the other aspects. One is trying to reach out to the other, and the other is in deep state of fear and anxiety. I'm picking up on like brother and sister, or just two, or it could be two sisters or two brothers, but it comes out as a brother and sister. Or this Two of Swords person just doesn't know how to handle the situation, and the other is trying their best with what they know and have to approach them and to ease them. On another note, it has created March, has created to some of you or someone around you a deep state of anxiety, and it's somewhat hidden because this person, you or them, is quiet about it. I think it's someone outside of you. I don't think it's you, although it could be because these are general readings. They are very scared and they don't know what will happen, as do most of us. But the thing is, especially if this is a child, Gemini, especially if this is a child, most important thing you can do for them is tell them the truth. Don't be like hide things from them because you're worried about how they'll respond or whatever. The opposite. Talk to them. Explain it to them. Knowledge will ease them. Even if it's a negative knowledge, still knowing gives you a sense of control and serenity over your life. And it will really encourage them, and it will make them feel better. Ironically, even if you don't understand the sense in that. There's a lot of sense in that. I say it a lot in readings. Don't lie to your children. They're so much smarter than you think. And the trauma comes from the lie, by the way. The trauma comes from the lie, not from the difficult truth. Of course, the difficult truth can traumatize depending on what it is, but the lie creates a maze inside the head of uncertainty and fear. And it's like, it spreads and affects other fields in their life. And especially if they're young, it creates paranoia that they don't even understand where it's coming from in adults. So whether they're young or mature, teenager, in their 20s, doesn't matter. It could be a friend. It doesn't have to be a child. It could be anyone. It's never too late to say the truth, whether it's about the situation that we're undergoing or anything else, really. This applies to anything. Keep your children in the know, in the knowing, not in the know, in the knowing. The world, and educate them about what goes on in the world. And it's a great opportunity for you to learn more about what goes on in the world. This opens up so many things, right? Because you're watching the global news. Kids watch the news. Let them. Don't hide it from them. Someone feels really small and helpless compared to the size of the world and the magnitude of what is happening. Best way to approach it is to focus with the truth, not with hiding the truth, but with the truth, working with the truth, right? About showing also the beauty of humanity and what is coming out of it, right? How much we're learning about our society, how much the government is learning about itself, about the medical world, how much we're learning about our neighbors and people around us, how much we come together, show them the inspiration and the power in this, while telling them the facts. Whoever this is, again, child or not child. And if it's yourself, then educate yourself, right? If you feel anxious and worried, I'm not saying to feed yourself with news 24/7, but I am saying stay in the know, and that way you're able to, be prepared, and that gives a sense of control and calm. It does. Now, by the way, even if you're watching this after a different time, this could apply to so many things. It could apply to global affairs. Maybe you're undergoing something else at a different point in time from when I'm recording this video. But it could apply to something in your private life, Either way, copy paste it to your narrative. But the World card here and the Game of Thrones here is so beautiful. You actually see the map of all the 7 kingdoms. And I don't know if you see the connection or not. 7 kingdoms. We have 7 continents. This will affect the world. And I feel like the effect will actually happen even more than the results will affect us even more than the situation itself. The economy, society, education, healthcare, everything is going to change for the better, because now we're seeing everything that isn't working comes up to the surface. And you also really see the truth of our politicians, right, and of our leaders. Sorry that I'm taking this for that, but I can't ignore it. It's the situation. It also is coming up. As I said, we're not bypassing. We are going in. And this is the shift that we've been talking about for so long. This is how it looks like. So we ought to talk about it. It is our spiritual evolution. It is our existential shift. Me sitting here and ignoring it will be, ridiculous. And I'm here to give you my take on things, my point of view. You already have all the doctors and all the politicians and all the leaders talk on the news, and they tell you what they know from their knowledge and from their field, which is great. But you're here to, I'm here anyway to give you my take on it. And if I look at it at this globally, at from an eagle's point of view, that has no boundaries and has no time frame, and I see it as a pivotal moment for humanity. Yeah, this is a very, very meaningful shift. And knowing what's going on is spiritual. And connecting to the reality that we're in is spiritual, but also with making the understandings. If you're scared, if you're going through anxiety, fear, please don't try to suppress it or ignore it or judge yourself for it. I'm not saying be strong, aka pretend to be strong. I'm saying be strong, be strength, meaning accepting yourself with everything that you're actually feeling. Seeing yourself, what is coming out, and listening to it, because it's what is coming out of you right now isn't made by the situation. Rather, it is afloat because of the situation, meaning it was there, needing a trigger to help it come out. So now that it's out, it's a wonderful opportunity to communicate with your subconscious and with your psyche and with your heart and with your childhood and with your fears. And don't fight them. The path of least resistance. Sit with it. Sit with yourself. Be kind to yourself. Truly facing yourself is strength. Is bravery. Learn about yourself by learning about the world. Learn about the world by learning about yourself. There's a beautiful story of a father being very, very busy working in the office, and his kid is bored and he wants to play, and keeps coming and knocking on his door, walking into his office, be like, "Daddy, I want to play, and the father is like, "I'm busy, I can't." So at one point, the father just takes a big map of the world and cut it into small pieces and gives it to his son, and is like, "Here, fix the world, right? Reconnect the puzzle pieces. And when you're done, we'll play." Thinking that it will take him forever, because the kid doesn't really know where each continent is, where every country is. The kid goes out, comes back in 5 minutes with everything with masking tape. Everything is perfect. "Hey, here's the world." And the father's like, "How'd you do it?" So he turns it around, the kid, and in the back of the image was a face of a man. And he's like, "Well, I knew how a man looks like, so I just connected the pieces for the face of the man, and that I fixed the man, and then I fixed the world." If you feel like there's something you really want to do and help, and you don't know what, help yourself. Not like in a selfish, greedy stuff. Don't think like that. It's not healthy. I mean, like your psyche, your emotions, your situation. That will empower you, ease you, and then empower you, and will allow you to also help guide others. That's the strength of leadership. Remember Daenerys from Game of Thrones? Sorry for all the references of Game of Thrones. It's inevitable because this is the deck of Game of Thrones. The reason the people loved her so much is because she was the people. So be that person in need and tend to yourself. And that will connect you to everyone else on that frequency. And once you are connected to other people's frequency by tapping into how you truly feel and to your needs, then when you start raising your frequency and strengthening, by default you're taking others with you because you're already connected. Hope I didn't lose you there. Did that make sense? Seven of Cups, right underneath the Page of Cups. Very watery, emotional, confused energy. I keep picking up on a kid that is very confused and doesn't know what's going on. Talk to them. I can't emphasize this enough. Talk to them. Also, there's someone psychic here, very, very psychic. Maybe you have a kid around you or someone young, or it could be you, that is really tapped into their dreams. They see things, they feel the world. If they talk to you about it, listen to them very carefully, attentively, and with respect. It's very, very important that a child that is psychic, so many of us, especially indigo children, I'm from the indigo decade, right? We're really shamed and bashed and ignored for what we see and what we feel. Our feelings were suppressed. Our sight was blocked because of society, social conformity, or just basic impatience from our environment. Impatience, I'm sorry. It is crucial that at a young age, or whenever it's coming up, you can be an adult in your 40s and suddenly start coming up, to really honor it and listen to it, to them or to yourself. Because if not, out of shame and fear, it gets suppressed inside. And then what happens is an empath is born, but not a healthy type of empath, but someone who constantly feels everyone else's pain, but goes into the sacrificial lamb, self-sacrifice place, because they don't really know how to work with all their feelings. They don't know how to process them. They don't know how to understand them. So instead of helping, so they keep trying to help others, but it always encounters a wall of resistance by the people they try to help to. It's a manifestation of their subconscious. Every time they were feeling something, seeing something, it encountered a wall of denial or ignoring or whatnot. Don't do that to your child. Don't do that to yourself. And if you resonate with this as a child, that you feel like you were like that, speak with your brain through your dreams. Tell your brain, hey, let's tap into the brain of me as a kid, feeling things, dreaming things, seeing things. I'm here, I'm open, I want to, I'm okay, I can do it. 5 of Swords. On the other end of things, you can create a narcissist. Watch my 13th element. A narcissist is an empath who had enough. There are a lot of wounded, psychic, seer children who turned out to be either or. You can't even imagine how many empaths and narcissists are out there that are actually a core of a super hypersensitive, extrasensory child that was denied of its essence. The beautiful wolf that was forced into the lone wolf narrative. Go back to your pack. Help them know that they're in a pack that accepts them. Making someone choose between themselves and their essence and their environment creates a tear inside, and that is the separation that we see all over humanity. So many of us, because of society, because of family, whatever, growing up, encounter the need to choose between our essence, who we truly are, who we truly love. It doesn't have to be psychic. Maybe you just like to paint and your family didn't encourage it. And kept telling you that it's bound to fail and you should be a lawyer. I don't know, whatever. Whatever. There's a split. And when there's a split within yourself, there's a split between you and others. April and now brings with the work on that. I'm picking up on someone that this triggers them, the situation is triggering them because either when they were a teenager or child, or younger, when they were younger, there was like also an emergent situation, like something in their country or in the world, like something drastic. Could be war, could be so many things. But they were left out. Their family left them behind in some way or had them go face the battle or the situation on their own, expecting them to help them or do for them things and kind of put them in the line of fire. And this brings it up. This entire situation is now as an adult, it brings it up. You may have been very young. Of course, this is not for all of you, but for whoever this is, I'm going to say it. Work with it. Don't try to ignore it. Work with it. Wow, I'm also picking up on someone that was in a country where they draft you at a very young age. Like as a soldier, and I mean very young. I'm from Israel. I did military from 18 years old to 20 years old, which is young on every term, but at least you're an adult. But I'm picking up on like really young, like when they draft you when you're 12 or 13 or 10. It's like that thing stuck. If this speaks to you, of course, this is for very few, if not just one. If this speaks to you, or to someone that you know, it's coming up this month in April, and possibly travel to the place you're from after the ban, of course. This brings up so many things. So you might be deciding, okay, after the mess is over, I'm going to travel there and kind of find סגירת מעגל, closure, sorry. Well, okay, that was 33 minutes. Wow, jams. It is what it is. I never force time or close time, like however long the message is, I give it. If it's 15 minutes or 40 minutes, never take it as personal and never take it as, generally with my readings, never take it as like quantity. It's about the quality of the message and what needs to be said, that's all. Simple as that. The Emperor. This might revolve around a father figure, or if you're this kid, whichever ones I've given so many different types of, you grew up to be very strong. I'm picking up on a masculine that is, it's like a really powerful leader energy that really takes responsibility and is there, and they're carrying, that masculine is carrying that child within. By the way, Geminis, doesn't have to be if you're Gemini sun. You could have Gemini placements or cross-watcher or intuitively guided. These are tarot. I don't focus on the astrology unless there's something meaningful that I feel like I need to say. But this is actually timeless. And for if you resonate with this is for you. Okay? So a very powerful masculine was forged out of this. But now they need to re-tap into their psychic abilities that are there. Because there's another level to them. Or to you. There's another level to them. That could take them further. Ten of Swords. Ten of Swords and the Emperor. It's like someone is carrying a very deep injury of either disappointing or not being there. But I feel like it's something that was installed in them by guilt and by coercion, possibly a narcissistic parents, or just emotionally abusive parents, where they made them feel bad for things they had no control over, and they're carrying that in a way. Strong sense of not belonging, although you do belong. And the Ten of Swords came up right underneath the Ten of Cups. 2 tens with the World card here. This is something to be concluded in April. Secret. Because May, you're stepping into your next phase. So the sensation is to be concluded in April. And it is concluded. I'm not like forcing you. It's something that I'm seeing. So it's definitely possible and is guiding you. So or at this time when you're watching this. Bottom of the deck, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Sun. Wow. So a new life is waiting for you. A role of leadership. I'm picking up on a strong leadership position. And you can't carry that with you to it. Like the wheel is waiting for it to be integrated and transmuted and released. So you can truly rise. Like the rising sun here. If there's a Leo involved, this could refer to a Leo in your life. Or simply Leo energy, which is very much a leader. Three times actually. Okay, I'm going to continue this in the extended. Link is below. You can find it on Vimeo or on Patreon. On Patreon, it's a monthly membership where you get all the extendeds plus VIP content. All the explanation is below in the description box. And you can cancel anytime. It's a monthly subscription. It's way more cost effective, considering how much content you're receiving, and you can cancel anytime, so there's no risk involved. And unlimited streaming of whatever current month and past months as well you're getting, so you can go back in time and be like, what happened then? Anyway, there's also Tarot Masterclass Bunka if you want to learn the secrets of tarot from me, how to be a Tarochi, an existential shifter. It's a shamanic journey, 90 pre-recorded classes. Right now, as I'm recording this, it's 13% off. Promo code is below in the description box. What else? All the information is below. I don't want to, eat your brain. And I'm going to see you in a second, hopefully in the extended. So if you're new to the Existential Shift, feel free to subscribe. Oh, a little note for my existing seekers. YT is doing things with the spiritual community. I'm not going to go into, I'll just leave it at that. But if suddenly you've become unsubscribed, resubscribe. There's no way for me or any other reader to unsubscribe you. It's not, we don't do that. Okay? And if you're already subscribed, show YT the importance of a channel like this, not just with me, with all your favorite readers that you feel like are important to our growth. Press the bell button next to the subscribe. That way you receive notifications, but it's also, you're telling YT, I want to hear and see content like Morgane and other contents similar. Okay, at this time, it's more important than ever. Truly, I'm not going to go into the explanation because maybe I'll explain it on Patreon where it's a private platform and I can say whatever I want. But here I can't. So just take note of that. That's all I have to say. I love you guys very, very much. Stay safe, stay well, stay magic.